guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions. And today I thought that we would make little file folders to use in our junk journals. And these file folders, I mean, they're really versatile because you can use them obviously as anything you like. You can have them as flip opens, you can have them as kind of booklets, you could have them as closed up file folders like this. Completely and utterly, you know, up to you how you actually use them. What you're going to need, or what I've brought along, is I've bought a selection of papers. They are all on thicker card. They are not really on paper, purely because I think obviously paper, you're going to end up with quite a flimsy file folder. Completely up to you. I mean, that's just personal preference. I didn't want something so flimsy because I'm likely to just tear it. So you're going to need some paper, you know, a selection of papers. You're going to also need something to make your file folder shape. Now, I have pulled along my Curators Collection file folders that come with the Curators Collections so that I can just use this as a template. If you've got an envelope punch board, you can obviously use your envelope punch board to make this shape. Or, to be honest, if you wanted to avoid doing that, you know, type of thing altogether, what you could do is make it as a straight edge, and then the tabs that we have made previously on a different week and that I've done a tutorial for, you could always add one of those as a tab. I mean, I think they're quite nice, and I think, you know, give a different look. So I might make some of, you know, some of one and some of something else, because I think it's nice to just have a variation or a, you know, variety. So completely up to you. You may want a ruler if you like to measure things. I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to kind of, you know, trial and error. And you're obviously going to need your scissors. You're going to need some glue. You may want to have extra pages if you're going to make yours as a little booklet or something. And of course, you know, you may want some things to decorate your pieces with. So let's kind of just get cracking on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a variety of different types so that we can, you know, experiment around. So if I just kind of share one that's just going to be a file folder that just folds open and doesn't really kind of fold in or, you know, glue together or anything. So we'll start with that one and then we can kind of move on from there. So I'm just going to take this paper. Okay. So obviously you can see I have not made that very straight or anything. And then what you're going to want to do is fold it down. Now, what I like to do is kind of fold it down, leaving a little kind of, I don't know, like a centimetre or something gap at the top that you can then take your template. So if you've got some index cards, some old index cards perhaps, you can obviously use those to draw your template around. You know, just use anything that you happen to have to hand. It doesn't matter, so long as you've got that rough shape. And as I say, you could use your punch board, you could use, you know, you can do it freehand. Completely up to you. Just use, you know, whatever you've got to hand. So I'm just going to do that around there. And then I'm just going to kind of draw my line across there. Okay, and so then I'm just going to cut down like that, and I've got a horrible feeling that now I'm going to have to tidy up the back because that's going to be too big in the background. But I mean, that's fine. Nobody's going to be, you know, judging and looking. So I mean, I've made a horrible job of this, I have to say. Yep, I really have made a pig's ear of this one. But I mean, you know, once you've got your kind of basic shape, then you can obviously tidy up your, you know, little file foldery piece that's sticking up and you know, alter it accordingly. Okay, so hopefully it's not going to be just one of those days where everything I make is going to be a disaster. It could be, who knows. Stranger things have happened. So what I might do now is make kind of a longer one that we're going to actually have kind of folding in. So that is obviously just a fold down, but I'm going to make some that we can fold the edges in. So I'm going to start exactly the same way. I might use this way round. Okay. And I'm just going to fold that down like that. And then all I'm going to do is cut it down. I'm just deciding which way round I want to cut it. So I think I probably want to cut it down about here. Like that. Okay. And then all I want to do is obviously make my flap type bits to fold in. So all I'm going to do now is literally chop these down like that and like that. Okay, and then the same on the other side. So like that. Oops. And then like this. I'm not going to be able to cut this very easily. Oh well, never mind. Like that. Oops. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to draw my little templates bit again across the top. Hopefully I might make a better job of cutting this one, because I certainly didn't make a very good job of cutting the other one. So like that. Okay, so I'm going to just trim that across. And, you know, I am not in any way trying to say that this is the, you know, the best way to make these. This is just, you know, a method that I use. But of course, you know, there are obviously other ways that you can make these. Okay, there we go. Again, I've made a hideous job of that little flap. I'm just going to kind of try and level that off a bit. Not doing a good job of that. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold my edges in. So one there, oops, like that. And then this one, like that. And then same here. Oops, like that. Oh, and then this one here. So, you know, I mean, if you're a measuring person, then obviously, you know, feel free to measure. I'm not a measuring person, as you know. But, you know, I mean, like now, my piece is very, very big. You know, it's very tall. And, you know, that's not probably the best shape, and not probably the shape that I would like to have. So what I might do is actually shrink it down, and actually I would like this as the front rather than this, which I obviously kind of, you know, didn't really factor that in. So I'm going to just do that again, but on this side now. So taking it down shorter, oops, taking it down shorter like that. And across there. And again, I just do those little kind of triangle or mitered, or I don't know really what would be the right description for those, but those edges, because then when you fold it in, they're going to be nicely, you know, what's the word? Well, they're going to fit much better. If you just have them squared off, you may find that they're not going to be fitting quite right. So let's try again, like that. I mean, you could have it with, I guess, the long flap at the back. But what I'm going to do is just level that back section off. So just go across there. Like that. Okay. And obviously now I can just go in with my little edges. Like that. Okay, so that's that one. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not perfect. It's, you know, it's a very basic kind of file folder, but I mean, it's good enough. It works for me, and you know, I like things nice and simple. So for me, that's just a nice, easy way to do them. And then when I glue that together, hopefully it will all kind of, you know, look fine and look good enough. So I'll just then squash those sides in together like that. Okay, and I mean, obviously you can see, I mean, mine is not very straight across here, but that's fine because, to be honest, once I actually ink it, it will, you know, disguise that anyway. But I can also go in and just literally trim that down slightly, you know, if it's not quite running in a straight line. So that's kind of straightened that up a little bit. Okay, and as I say, I mean, when that's inked up and decorated, that will look, you know, completely fine. It won't be noticeable at all. So that's one that's kind of glued together. Let's do like a sort of booklet style one. So let me just get rid of those pieces of paper. Oh, and the two papers that I've used so far, they're from my Lace and Letters digis. So yeah, just because I know that I promised that I would mention which digis I use each time. Okay, let's just sort through. I'm just seeing what else I've got. Let's do a florally one. So this is just from my Victorian Florals. I think it's set 3. Right, let's just have a look. So what we could do, I mean, we could do like a longish one. Although, yeah, let's do a longish one and it would be like a booklet. In fact, we could probably get 2 out of this. So just folding that over like that. Cut that down there. Okay, again, not made a very good job of cutting that, never mind. And then for this one, what I'm going to do is, I think, just finish it off with a sort of tab bit on the side. So, you know, if you don't fancy mucking around with these thingies to create that type of file folder, you can always just kind of, you know, finish it off with your own style here. And I mean, actually, when you look at file folders, they come in various different styles, because sometimes they have like a bit behind like that. Sometimes they're flush. So, you know, just play around and see what looks good. And you may find that, you know, one thing looks good on one project and it might look rubbish on, you know, on a different project. So don't be afraid to kind of play around and see what looks good. So I'll just trim that one down like that. And I mean, actually what you could do is even just, instead of this shape tab, so again, if you don't have a punch board but you do have a corner rounder, you could just go in round your corners like that and then just pop it on like that. So I mean, obviously that's far too long, but let's just cut that down a little bit. Okay, so it could go on like that. So, you know, completely different kind of look there. Just decide which way round I want it. Do I want it that way round or that way round? I think I like it this way round. So I'm just going to take this, might cut it down slightly more, like that. Okay, and then just get my glue. I'm just going to glue this on. So, I mean, you've got loads of different options for using file folder style. Let's call them file folder style pieces for your junk journals. Because, I mean, obviously, you know, they're so versatile that, you know, I mean, the conventional file folder, like the first one that we did, you know, this one, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You really can go all out and kind of do all different things. Don't feel, you know, afraid to kind of just play around and sort of try out all different things. So, I mean, for instance, this one, how cute does that look? And then you don't have any of this mucking about of trying to, you know, cut your piece. So, I mean, actually, for me, these are probably the preferable way to do it, because I find that a little bit on the fiddly side. I mean, as I say, you can use your punch board. I've got a punch board under the desk, but I'm aware that not everybody has the punch board. So, you know, I don't want to kind of exclude people if you don't have a punch board. Obviously, I should have rounded my corners before sticking that on, and I'm now going to struggle to get into my corner. So I'm just going to really try, probably muck this up, because I'm not very good at doing roundy corners. It's not brilliant, but it looks okay. So that's that roundy corner. And then obviously you can attach pages in here, and then it's just a little sort of journal. So that's another kind of one. Obviously this one here, a lot smaller, but you know, no less kind of cute and versatile. So what we could do on this one is we could have one of those ones with like the back showing, you know, like we just sort of mentioned. So what I might do is trim down this piece here, like that. And then just using up sort of scraps here. Is that long enough? Right, so let's just take that down. Could have that, but actually I think what I'm going to do is use some book page. So let's just go in here, grab some book page. Don't know whether this is big enough. No, that's definitely not big enough. Okay, hold on, I just get some other book page. Okay, right. So we'll take this one here. And all I'm going to do is cover the entire thing like this. Oops. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't very often use file foldery type bits, probably because I find them very fiddly to cut out, to be honest. But they are very versatile. So, you know, they're something that you can really play around with and kind of put your own spin on. Because also you can have them kind of opening sideways, you can have them dropping down, you can have them, you know, folding up. A whole different, you know, range of options with them. So, I mean, actually now I kind of question why I don't make them very often, because they are actually really, really fun. But I think it's probably because, like I say, I find them a little bit fiddly to cut. So, yeah, maybe I will feel a bit more confident having done a whole bunch of them here in the mass make, so we'll see. Now obviously in an ideal world I would probably leave this to dry before folding it, but I mean obviously I'm doing a video, so I'm just going to go straight in, fold that now. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do is trim this down here on this edge. Like that. Trim it down here on this edge here. And then I'll just trim it down on here. And again, I mean, I like to just go in a kind of millimetre or so, because then hopefully I get any bits that I did miss with the gluing process. Okay, so I just fold my file folder up there. Oh my gosh, I mean, look at how horribly unstraight that is. So I'm just going to trim that down at the edge like that, and then a little bit there. Okay, and then what we can do is obviously make another little tab like we did last time. So let's do this one, I think. Just cut that down there, like that. Oops. And again, just round those corners. Oh, come on. Oh dear, I'm not making a good job of this one at all. I think I've probably even ruined that completely. Right, don't know whether that just still yet. I think it just needs emptying. So just empty that out and then hopefully we'll have a bit more success. Oops. Okay. There we go, that's better. It's just a bit on the full side. Oops. And obviously that needs to come down because it's pretty big. So I'm just going to trim that down like that. Glue that onto there. And then what I'm going to do, I think, is bring this texty part in line with the top of here, I think. So let's just glue this one on. Okie doke. And I mean, actually, the nice thing also about doing these tabs separately is that then you can obviously have your tabs from different papers to the, you know, the file folder itself, which actually that's really nice, isn't it? You know, rather than having them in the same, you can have them then, you know, completely different sort of appearance, which I think is rather nice. So I'm just now going to go along the back and trim that sort of levelish with the top of that tab. Oops, just need to come down slightly more. Okay, like that. And again, you know, oops, just need to now glue down one or two bits because obviously my glue was not right to the edge of there, so let me just go in. Okay, that's right. And then what I might do is just round these. It gives it a little bit more of a finished sort of appearance there. So that's quite nice, isn't it? And I mean, again, you know, you could finish that off by having a little strip across there. That's really nice. You know, something like that, just to kind of finish that off. So loads and loads of different options that you can do with these. Really super fun. So let me just move these bits out of the way. Just keep these. And we'll just do some more. So I'm just going to do kind of a variety. So I won't keep on talking you through, you know, what I'm doing, because of course it's, you know, quite straightforward. But I'll just kind of every now and then say if I'm doing something, you know, at all different. But on the whole, I'll try and be a bit quiet and not really kind of just boring everyone with what we're doing. So let's just chop this down here. Okay. So I hope everyone's having a nice day. I hope you're doing some crafting and doing something nice, working on a nice project. Oh, everything just always feels much better, doesn't it, when you can do some nice crafting and, you know, just get away from the stuff that's going on everywhere at the moment. So, yeah, I hope that you're all doing something enjoyable. There we go. So I'll try now again to draw around this, see if I can do a better job of it this time. Not doing a good job of it so far, I must say. Okay. I might have to pull in my envelope punch board in a minute because I'm making such a horrible job of these. But I was trying to do it so that, you know, if you didn't have a punch board, you could just see how easy they are. Not that I'm finding it very easy, but yeah, that was the plan. Okay. Oh, it's such a grey, miserable day here. I'm filming this on the Monday, and obviously I upload these on the Tuesday, so I'm just filming, you know, the day before it's going up. And oh, it's so grey. When I look out the window, it's really horrible, and it's really suddenly turned cold. The weekend, it was reasonably bright actually, but oh my gosh, Saturday was freezing. really, really, really cold and very grey. I mean, actually very similar to today. Yesterday was really quite a nice day. It was quite chilly, but not as cold as Saturday. Yeah, it was a nice weekend. I mean, better than I think we'd expected, better than they'd predicted, because I think it was supposed to be really horrible. So it wasn't kind of too bad compared to how it could have been. And I mean, obviously, of course, we are sort of now approaching the middle of October, aren't we? So I guess it's to be expected now. But, oh, I've actually got 2 jumpers on now today. Seems to have suddenly, you know, come on all of a sudden that, you know, I'm suddenly now needing 2 jumpers. So, yeah. Right, I'm wondering about this one, and I'm going to do a sort of booklet again. So what I'm going to do, actually, I think, is kind of fold it in here and cut my flap, you know, because on the other booklet that I made, obviously, I stuck the flap on. So I'm just going to make one now, you know, cutting the flap around, if I can manage it. So let's have a look. Probably be that way up, I guess. So, and again, I mean, you could have your flaps at the top, at the bottom, you know, completely up to you. So let's just draw around there. Oops. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I just want to say thank you so much to everyone's lovely comments on my Tidy Friday. Oh, I was so excited because, I mean, if you watched it and, you know, if you've been following my progress, oh my goodness, obviously Friday, there was such a massive change. I mean, to me, it felt like such a massive change. Maybe to other people, it didn't really look that big. But, I mean, it was obviously tackling the area under my desk. And, I mean, I'm not kidding. That mess has been under my desk for, like, the longest time ever. You know, to the point, I mean, I couldn't have even tucked my chair in. And it's been like that, literally, I mean, yeah, to say years is probably, well, no, I mean, it is years. I was going to say probably an exaggeration. But I think we've had our loft conversion done for, oh, gosh, probably about 11 years or something. So, I mean, my desk's probably been that way for about 7 of those years. Round about 7 of those years. And, yeah. I mean, a long, long time since I've been able to tuck my chair into my work area. So it's absolutely awesome. So I want to just say thank you so much to everyone, because honestly, without your support and encouragement, I mean, I wouldn't even be tackling those areas now. So yeah, thank you so, so much. It means so much to me that you're all so kind and, you know, kind of spurring me on. It really is lovely. And, you know, lots of people are getting involved and they're all doing their clear ups too. So I'm so, so grateful. Thank you so much. It's, oh, like life changing. And, you know, like, I mean, I say this all the time, but I mean, actually, you know, my channel generally and, you know, this amazing support that I get from everybody on here generally, honestly, you guys have just changed my life completely. So yeah, thank you so much anyway, regardless, you know, of the Tidy Fridays. Thank you so much anyway, because you honestly have changed my life. So thank you so, so much, everybody, anyway, for all your wonderful support. But I mean, the Tidy Fridays is just incredible how kind and lovely everybody is, you know, to encourage me the way that you do. So yeah, thank you very, very, very much. And honestly, I mean, I could not have done what I've done or achieved what I've achieved so far without your wonderful support. So thank you very, very much. Actually, I'm going to make that a bit smaller because I was going to say I like her, but actually I'm going to end up cutting her off. Oh, well. Yeah, so thank you so, so much. I really do appreciate every single, you know, lovely, kind, encouraging comment. It's just awesome. So yeah, thank you very, very much. And on that note, I mean, honestly, the whole Tidy Friday thing is quite addictive, because I then yesterday, we, you know, at the weekend, we'd been out for a really long bike ride with my eldest son. My younger son, unfortunately, he was at work, so I just hate it when one of them's missing. But yeah, he was at work, so that was a bit of a shame. But we went out on a very long bike ride. I'm going to cut her head off now. Oh, this is annoying, isn't it? Yeah, we went for a very long bike ride with my eldest son, who he was kind of home and spent the day with us. And when we came home, would you believe I then sorted out my handbags and things? Now, I've collected handbags kind of endlessly, a bit like craft supplies, you know, for years and years and years. So, yeah, I had 2 whole shelves full of handbags in my wardrobe. And, I mean, honestly, over the years, they've obviously just got slung in there. And you know what it's like if you've been to a wedding or something and you buy a little handbag and, oh, you know, you see one cheap reduced somewhere in the sales. You're never going to use it, but you've bought it. You know, that was what was going on in my cupboard. And, yeah, so when I got home from our lovely bike ride yesterday, I then sorted out all my handbags and, oh, my gosh, it's just amazing. I mean, I actually was quite disciplined and I threw out lots of handbags. I mean, actually, some of them, unfortunately, had kind of like perished, you know, like where they haven't been used for so long. The, you know, I guess fake leather had kind of cracked and, you know, got damaged and things like that. So, I mean, some were looking the worse for wear. So they had, you know, I had no option but to bin them because they just looked really, really rubbish. And some were, you know, still in okay condition, but they were, you know, very small now, or, you know, something like that. There was something kind of wrong from a point of view of being practical these days, you know, because obviously as we change, our, you know, uses change, don't they? So, yeah, anyway, I came home and I then sorted all my handbags out. And, I mean, obviously, my daughter was in the thick of it, going through every single handbag. And, oh, can I have this one, Mum? Can I have that one? Can I have this one? Can I have that? And, you know, then going through them and, oh, can I have this that's just dropped out of this one? Or, you know. So, as quick as I was trying to bin them and sort out, she was obviously taking them into her room, you know, just clear or, you know, clutter up the house even further. But anyway, it was fine. So, yeah, she obviously had a few of like the bags that are quite small, because I mean, bags have kind of changed over the years, haven't they? And, you know, bags are very big now, where obviously they used to be much smaller. So, yeah, she nabbed a few, you know, a couple of the smaller ones and has kept them for herself. So that's fine. No doubt they're laying all over her bedroom floor now. Not put away, probably actually messier than they started on my bedroom shelf, but never mind. She obviously was pleased with them, so I guess that's all that really matters, isn't it? But yeah, so, I mean, who knows? Maybe eventually I'll actually even move on to my Tupperware shelf in the kitchen, which, wow. Well, not shelf, actually. I've got a cupboard in the kitchen full of Tupperware. And actually not just Tupperware now, it now has paper ready for coffee dyeing and all sorts of things in there. So, yeah, it's just another hideous mess. I mean, don't get me wrong, actually, other than my craft area, on the surface, you know, downstairs looks quite tidy. So I don't have quite the mess that I did have up here, but having said that, if you open the cupboards, you do have a very similar mess than what we've had up here. But yeah, it's all a little bit chaotic, but oh, it does feel great. I mean, I have to say, I mean, it feels fantastic up here to be able to tuck my chair in. Fantastic to not have all that stuff under my desk. I mean, I know this sounds very strange, but I am going to try and leave, obviously, the main mess that's on my desk, because I do find that pile very inspirational to have, you know, things to work from, you know, laying around on my desk. You know, I find that very helpful. So, yeah, I don't want to kind of go too mad and organise too much on my desk. But, I mean, under my desk, there was, like, no need for having that mess under there. So that's been awesome. And then this Friday's Tidy Friday, which I filmed ahead, again, I make quite a lot of significant progress. And that's as far as I've filmed so far. So if I get time, I'm going to film ahead, hopefully, a couple more Tidy Fridays, you know, this week, you know, to keep us going for a couple more weeks. It just really depends how kind of the week goes, really. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who's been so kind and so supportive. I really, honestly appreciate it so much. And actually, while we're on the subject of things like that, oh my goodness, who saw Andrea at Artie Mays's video? It was, I can't remember what she called it actually, but her husband was filming the film at the beginning. So that was quite nice because we all got to see him, and he just seemed like a lovely man and had a good sense of humour. And it was in her craft studio, which obviously she's, you know, she often talks about her studio, doesn't she, and things. And it's so lovely to see where people are working. Well, I have to say, I don't know why, but it shocked me so much because, oh gosh, and if Andrea ever stumbles across this video, honestly, I'm not being insulting Andrea, but I was so surprised that she actually had such a messy studio. I mean, of course she probably did, because how does she make such a, you know, gorgeous creations without such a lot of stuff? And, you know, of course, like all of us, it all just gets very, very messy. And, you know, she's super busy and things. So, I mean, when would she be really tidying it all up? But yeah, it was way messier than I expected it to be. I don't know why. I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely made me feel good. Because I thought, oh, Andrea works in a similar sort of condition to me. I mean, her space was quite big. So, you know, although her space was messy, I mean, I didn't see quite the mess that was like under my desk, if you see what I mean. But having said that, she had a lot of mess kind of all surrounding her because her area was quite big. So, yeah, it was messy kind of everywhere. And it was just, it made me chuckle because I don't know, like I say, exactly what I was expecting, but I guess I wasn't expecting quite that. I'm not sure. But this is some of that coffee dyed paper that I did that went quite turmeric. So I'm going to make one or two from this, I think, as well. And then I've got sort of plain ones that I can just, you know, stamp up or, you know, use in different ways. And this paper, I know that I've mentioned this before, but I've linked it down below in the description with my Amazon like affiliate links, because I know that I have said this recently, but it's only in recent months, really, since the lockdown, that I've been playing around a lot with different papers to print my papers on. And wow, the difference with the different papers. So this particular paper is koala matte photo paper. It's double-sided matte photo paper. Now, I have to say, it's such a shame about the turmeric colour when you coffee dye it, because, you know, obviously it's not ideal going that colour. But as quality paper goes, the prints are just awesome on this paper. So, again, this is what works best on my printer. And I am not saying that that would work best on everybody's printer. I think really what I'm trying to just say more is it's definitely worth experimenting and playing around with papers. You know, I do try and always print on best quality printing. I also use some super smooth presentation paper. I can't remember now what the brand is, but again, it's listed in my description below. So again, that is also a very, very nice quality paper and produces very nice quality prints. So, you know, it's definitely worth playing around, because you really can get quite a big difference from using, you know, nice quality paper. Yeah, I mean, that definitely, yeah, definitely does make a big difference. And this, I think, the koala papers, I've bought a whole different range of thicknesses over the time. I think the thickest I've bought is 250 GSM, and for some reason my printer sometimes is happy to print on that and at other times it's not. So again, with the thicknesses, you know, it's worth playing around because different printers are going to be able to print on different thickness of paper. But yeah, definitely it's worth playing around. And if you don't mind this turmeric colour, or if you're not planning on coffee dyeing, this koala paper is absolutely lovely paper. So yeah, I can highly recommend it. Okay. Trying to think really what else has been going on for us this week. I mean, things are strange here. We're now having kind of lockdowns a little bit more again up in the north. I'm obviously down in the south, and yeah, we're kind of having things going on up in the north, and I assume, you know, eventually that's going to flood down here and we will have restrictions here in the south as well. Yeah, it's very strange. The saddest thing that's happened really all week for us was obviously the cinemas. Our local cinema is a Cineworld cinema, and they have now shut their doors. They've said it's temporary, and I think they have closed all their cinemas in the US and in the UK. So it's not kind of just a UK thing. I mean, of course, because they've got no films coming out to be showing and to be kind of enticing people to go back to the cinema. So very, very, very sad news, because we love the cinema. And, you know, as my 17-year-old said, you know, I mean, we go to the cinema nearly every week normally on a Wednesday when we do that Meerkat movie thing where we can go 2 for 1. And we've done that for years. I mean, since he was literally a tiny little boy, you know, like maybe 4 years old. So, I mean, that's been basically his whole childhood has been going to the cinema once a week. So it's truly gutting that they have now closed. And yeah, I mean, I can only hope that it is a temporary thing. Obviously, time will tell. And, you know, we won't know until kind of later whether they do manage to reopen. I just really hope that they do. Might do another sort of booklet style one. And I might do it with a made tab on the side, I think. Yeah, so, I mean, that was very, very sad. And, I mean, I kind of said to the children, you know, what I don't understand is, you know, like Netflix, I mean, they produce their own movies, don't they? And, you know, their movies, I think, just go straight onto Netflix. They don't go to the cinema. I don't know why Netflix don't team up with the cinemas and like sell their films to the cinemas for a cheaper price, obviously, than like the big blockbusters that would normally be shown. But it would be a win-win, because they don't normally go to the cinema at all, their films. So they would get kind of exposure they don't normally get. They would get paid for movies they don't normally be paid for. And the cinemas would have new movies to show. Either that, or, you know, why don't the cinemas start producing some movies? But I guess obviously the problem is with that is, of course, people aren't really kind of working, I guess, at the moment because of the virus. But I mean, definitely Netflix still seem to be bringing out movies, so they must have kind of some in the bag, I guess. And, you know, they could just be selling the rights to them to the cinema, so the cinema have things to show. And, you know, it might just save the cinemas, who knows? But I don't know. Let's fingers crossed that something happens and, you know, the cinemas do return, because honestly, we felt very sad. I mean, actually, our cinemas closed on Thursday. And so Wednesday night, they were showing, they've been showing the Rocky films. And I'm sure I've talked about this before, but we all really like the Rocky films in our house. So unfortunately, we hadn't managed to get there to see any of the others, because the one we would have really liked to have seen was Rocky 4. That's our favourite. These are the Sylvester Stallone, you know, boxing movies. And that was on the Monday night, which was my dad's birthday, that we'd all gone out, which actually I'll talk about that in a second. And yeah, so it was a shame because we didn't get to see that one. But on the Wednesday night, they were showing Rocky Balboa, which I don't know whether that's like Rocky 5 or Rocky 6. I don't know, I mean, there's loads of those, aren't there? But anyway, that one, the one where he's kind of older and then he goes back into the ring as a, oh gosh, exhibition fight, I think they call it. Anyway, they were showing that one, so just me and the boys went because it was on a little bit later. It was on at like 7:40 or something like that in the evening, which was a bit late for my daughter to be able to go to. So and obviously she's not that fussed. I mean, she does watch some of the Rocky movies with us, but of course she's not fussed by them to the extent she'd want to go to the cinema and watch them necessarily. But yeah, so we went to watch that as our kind of last cinema trip, you know, before they closed. And, you know, we took a little selfie of the three of us, and oh, it was so sad. And that was when my son was kind of saying, you know, he felt so sad because it's been like a major part of his life, you know, and now they're obviously closed, you know, until further notice. So like I say, we can only keep our fingers crossed that it is a temporary thing, but who knows, time will tell. Right. Let's count how many we've done and then we'll decorate one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've done 10. So I mean, they're actually quite a quick thing to make, even with my my appalling cutting skills. Okay, let's decorate this one up because it just happens to be here. And I just want to quickly share these with you. I haven't got a whole sheet of them here, unfortunately, I don't think, but I put these in my shop at the end of last week, and they are Victorian streets. And I just wanted to just quickly, you know, show you them because I absolutely love them. I have been using them on a little journal that I'm making over the weekend, and oh, they're just so fun. So I really hope that you all like them. And yeah, I thought they were something a little bit different. They're, you know, they're quite vintagey feeling and Victorian-y. I think they're a little bit similar to the numbers in that they look super cute everywhere you put them. So I'll just kind of hold that up. Aren't they just so sweet? And there's also a couple of lampposts on the bottom of the printable. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly point those out because I just thought they was, you know, super sweet. Yeah, so while I was on the subject of my dad's birthday, I just want to say thank you so much to all those lovely, kind people who wished him a happy birthday. So thank you very, very much. We had a really lovely time, and yeah, it all worked out really nicely. We went to a restaurant where, you know, by the nature of the restaurants, it had kind of like sections. So the section we were in just happened to have kind of 4 tables. And so, 5 tables, sorry. So we were able to space ourselves out because it was obviously my sisters and their children and my older sister. I mean, she's got kind of 3 children and her boys are grown up. They're in their 20s. So they have their partners and things. So there were lots of us. I'm not sure how many altogether, but there were lots of us. And, you know, obviously we all went and things. And it was just really, really, really nice because we were obviously the only people in that entire section on all of those tables. And, you know, oh, it just felt lovely because it, you know, we were all together even though we were socially distanced. So it just worked out really, really perfectly. It, you know, just couldn't have been better, to be honest. And it was, you know, lovely to obviously see everybody and, you know, have a nice time kind of together. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone who wished him a happy birthday. And yes, we did have a lovely time. Thank you very much. So yeah, really, really nice. I mean, obviously the next big thing will be Christmas, and who knows what's going to be happening for Christmas. I mean, whether we'll all be able to get together with people, I'm not really too sure, but it's probably not really looking like we can, or, you know, like we will be able to. It's, you know, I don't know. Don't know how that's going to all pan out, to be honest, but it will be a shame, obviously, if people can't, you know, can't mix with family over Christmas. But I mean, having said that, of course, you know, you just have to kind of go with the advice that's given, don't you? And if that's what the advice says, then so be it, really. But yeah, we did have a very nice time last week, and the food was very lovely, so it was good. Okay. So wow, I just was out all week last week. Well, no, not all week, but you know, I had 2 late nights therefore, because obviously I had the, you know, the night out going for the meal, and then also had the cinema night, which 7:40. So I mean, I didn't get home till gone. Well, it was getting on for 9:30, I think, by the time I got home. And although that probably doesn't sound very late to lots of people, that's really late for me. So yeah, they were kind of late nights for me. It was, you know, a struggle to keep awake. No, it wasn't a struggle to keep awake, because obviously the movie was quite good. But I did say to the boys, you know, oh, I'm not sure whether I can go to that. That's pretty late for me, to be honest. And especially having already had a late night on Monday night. So, yeah. Felt very kind of, wow, I've been out all week feeling. Okay. Right, just pop this down. So I'm just decorating this one up. And this one, I will probably do this as a little booklet, I think. So I'm just going to put this vintage sheet music down. Oh, and thank you so much to everyone who bought my Ghostly Gothic kit. Honestly, I've just finished my journal, making my journal with that kit. It was such good fun to use. I mean, again, not really my type of thing either. I mean, lots of people said, oh, Gothic, you know, and ghosts and what have you, not really my type of thing. Well, it's not really my type of thing either, I have to say, but I did have a lot of fun, because although it was Gothic-y and, you know, Halloween-y and what have you, the fact it had that lovely green in there as well, it just, you know, toned it down and kind of made it somehow friendly. No, not friendly. Somehow sort of still attractive, or still, you know, appealing to the eye and quite pretty, even though it was Gothic-y and Halloween-y. It then still looked nice. So yeah, I had a blast making my journal with that. So the flip through will be coming up. I'm not quite sure when that will be coming, but quite soon. So yeah, really enjoyed using that. So thank you so much to all those people who bought that, and I hope you have a lovely time making your Halloween-y things with it. It's just sometimes nice to do something so completely different, isn't it? So this printable here, this is an Artsology printable that I've just popped on the edge of here. And what I might do is actually, just having a look, I might ink around here. Now, I've got this candied apple, which I thought might be nice because it might pick up on this. I've been very naughty and I've treated myself to lots of new different distress ink colours, because I didn't really have many distress ink colours, funnily enough. And I've been really enjoying them. So in the next few weeks, I'll be having some videos where I'm using them a lot more. And yeah, I'm really enjoying kind of using some different colours and things, because it does actually kind of really change the look of your stuff, you know, by just having the different colours. Okay, do I want some red round this side? Just hold that there. Yeah, I think I do. It looks quite Christmassy now, funnily enough, doesn't it? But hopefully not too Christmassy just yet. Oh, I haven't even started thinking about Christmas yet. I probably will make a Christmas kit, but yeah, I haven't even, you know, started thinking about that just yet. Oh, that's a bit of a shabby piece of lace there. It's kind of falling apart, but does that look all right there? Kind of in a sort of shabby way. Okay, so yeah, I might just kind of fabric-tack the lace down. Just trying to see which is the right way and the wrong way. Don't know really whether it's got one, but okay. Oops. Yeah, so I mean, these have really got lots of different possibilities, haven't they? You know, like we say, I mean, you can do sort of books and, you know, flip ups and flip downs and, you know, conventional file folders, all sorts of different things with these. So just experiment around and have a lot of fun with them. Oops. Okay, right, going to do a bit of red, I think, around here as well, to bring that red in on both sides. Otherwise it looks a little bit lopsided, doesn't it? Okay, let's do a bit on the back in case it's going to have the back showing at all, because I guess it depends, you know, whether it would be glued down onto a page or not really. Let me just make that up a little bit on the back. There we go. Oh, isn't that just so pretty? You know, and to be fair, that took like nothing at all to decorate that. I mean, it's literally just 2 different papers and just that little street lane. Not street lane, sorry, street sign. But just looks so pretty, doesn't it? And, you know, so I mean, hopefully those street signs are going to be just a super versatile little thing, because I mean, it's always nice to have different bits and bobs, isn't it? Might just pop a number on there as well. I've got one here with red. So again, let me, whoa, just vintage photo that up. Perhaps I'll have that just there. Oh no, not that side. No. Okay. Okay. There we go. So as I say, what I will do on this one, I think, is actually add some coffee dyed pages to this, and this will be like a little booklet. Or a, you know, a mini sort of journal to just slip into a journal. And I think that's probably all that needs, to be honest. It looks just gorgeous as it is. So, yep, that's all the ones that we have made today. So I hope that you like them. Hope that you had fun. As I say, loads of different possibilities. If you don't have the punch board, you can always use, you know, an old index card or anything else to kind of draw this round. You might be able to draw it freehand, make a template, you know, or if you can't, just cut off a little rectangle like we've done here and just, you know, round the corners. Or of course, these little shaped tabs also give a super, you know, different kind of look and things. So don't be afraid to experiment and just, yeah, just have fun with them. So yeah, hope that you like them. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Oh, one last thing, sorry. Thank you so much for your feedback as well for the new upload time. And I hope that it's working out really nicely for everybody. So, yep, thank you so much for watching and hopefully see you guys soon. Thanks then, everyone. Bye.